today with Court. I'm live. I'm Stampin' Up demonstrator from Australia. I don't actually need this great big thick jacket on, so we can ditch that to make it so that it's easier for me to work with. And today I've got a bit of fun happening. So what I did was I got on ChatGPT because I had to go to work this morning, and I got on ChatGPT and thought I need to, oh, here she is. I need to have, there's Auntie Lola. She's not there yet. All right, off you go. I need to work out what I was doing. So I got on ChatGPT and I had a bit of fun. Today I'm working with Delightful Wishes, and I'll just change this over. The stamp set is Delightful Wishes. It's a fun, really pretty little stamp set, and I've only got it in my hot little hands because I borrowed it from my auntie. Now, I don't actually own this stamp set, so it's a suite, and we've currently got that suite special on. So I'm trying to use those. So this is Delightful Wishes. It's part of the Floral Delight Suite Collection. I'm sorry it keeps going a little bit fuzzy. What I did this morning is I got on ChatGPT and said, make me a card, here's all the products. So ChatGPT did a PDF for me. I've read it. I think it's hilarious, but we're going to make it, and we're going to make it better than what it actually has done for me. So if you're Stampin' Up demonstrator and you want some help with classes, this is a good place to start. All right. So I'm going to do a wish you all the best card, wishing you all the best card. The beautiful paper that comes in this suite, there's some vellum. Sorry, it's a bit noisy. I'll pull it out. There's some really nice vellum. Okay, there's some with some floral parts, all different, and it's see-through, so that's okay. And then there is this one. Here's my favorite. I've already used the other sheet of it, and I really love this one here because it's got the little blue bits in it. So we'll see what we use. But so essentially, this ChatGPT told me we're going to make a card, and I'll show you the picture of what it showed me. So that's what it said we're making. Let me tell you, we're not. Okay, I can't find my little bead trinkets for starters. They're part of the suite, but I can't find mine. The suite is actually retiring. You'll be able to get all the different parts. And the reason the suite's retiring is because this really cool daffodil ribbon is going. It's on the retiring list. It's on the last chance list. So it's going. Now, so what we've got here is the design. There's designer series paper. There's designer series vellum. And there's some really pretty things. So working with that image, pull it back up. Working with that image and my instructions, we're going to make a card. Now, the card instructions, we're going to it tells us that we're going to, oh, hi, Kate, how you going? It says we're going to step it up, all right? So we're stepping up our card making. It's told me about the supplies I need. It's only given me one ink color, and it's given me Pool Party. That's going to make it really hard to stamp those flowers, let me tell you. So I have added Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, and I've added Pecan Pie because it goes quite beautifully. So it's making a window card. This die set, I'll pull them out. Well, Mabelicious is just coming home. This die set, so this is the stamps. And the way my auntie stores them, she takes them all out of the packet and she puts the dies in with them, so which is rather handy. This die set is featured over 2 pages. Hi, Mum. Hello, Floss. We've got the wishing, and then we've got a little bit of a sentiment strip, and we've got some flowers and some leaves and all that sort of stuff. Mabelicious says hello.
Hello.
She's home. All right. So we're going to use all of those, but there's nothing that you can make a window. So let's first up. We're going to have to make a window because it tells me that we're going to make a window. Okay, so I'm going to use basic white as my card base. I do have a piece of Pool Party, and the piece of Pool Party is going to go on the inside underneath my inside piece, just so that it has a bit of a border around it. So that bit's going to go on the inside in there. And I'm going to put some vellum underneath the piece that I'm going to have on the front. So there's another piece of basic white on the front that we're going to cut our window out of. Okay, so because we need a window. So I shouldn't have left the trimmer on the other table. So if you've got a set of dies that will cut you a rectangle, hi Lisa, if you've got a set of dies that will cut you a rectangle or anything like that, you could use them. But it just says here, oh, no, it says die cut a floral shape or a rectangle from the basic white layer. So this is my basic white layer. So if, I really should use a die, shouldn't I? What have we got that's got a really nice rectangle in it? Let me just grab. We're not going to do a rectangle, we're going to do an oval. All right, so I've got an oval die. So we'll use an oval. And we'll bring over the cut and emboss machine so that it's closer. Okay. And we're going to do an oval because, hi Lowell, how you going? I'm using your stamp set, Lowell. Thank you for lending it to me. I really appreciate that. Hope you don't mind. All right, I need another plate. Here's another dodgy plate. Okay, so first instructions on this ChatGPT's card says to cut a rectangle. So we're going to cut an oval because that's what we've got in our hot little hand out of our piece of basic white for the front. All right, so doesn't tell us where, but in the picture that it's given as our example for those that are latecomers, this is the example that ChatGPT thought I should make. All right, yeah, sexy that one, isn't it? It's got it down, it's got the oval down the bottom. Might put it more to the, I'm actually going to put it more to the middle. All right, so because the instructions just say cut a floral shape or a rectangle from the basic white layer. I can do that. So it's like having a it's like having a mystery card, everybody. What do you reckon? A ChatGPT mystery card. All right, so we've got that nice white border. We'll save that for something else. But there is our oval. All right, and we'll save this oval for something else as well. Okay, adhere vellum behind our window cutout. So we've got some vellum here. Let's pick what piece we're going to use. We've got some really pretty vellum. How busy do we want it? So we've got 4 different pieces of vellum. And I'm thinking, oh, I can tell, look, I know which ones are my favorite. 3 different pieces of vellum. This one's my favorite because I've used a whole piece. But let's go with this one here. Okay. It's quite remarkably cool party colour. So that one will need to be, can you pass me that trimmer, please? Tony just arrived at the right time, didn't he? Okay, so this one will need to be smaller than, actually we could do it. Oh,
Tea's arrived.
Tea's arrived. So we can actually do it a little bit bigger than this piece. So it gives it a bit of a frame around it. What do you reckon? To match the frame on the inside. So let's make it a 10 centimetres. Put your blade back into it. 10 centimetres by 14.4. And that's our perfect size for our underneath our card front. Okay, so that piece is going to sit underneath there, so you're going to be able to see a little bit of the vellum, because I like, yeah, we're not really a fan of that card, but we're following the instructions. And I guess when you've got just instructions and you don't have a picture, even though it gave me a picture that we were all so excited about, okay, it's nice to have somewhere to start. Okay, so die cut these are the instructions. Die cut a floral or rectangle shape from the basic white layer. So it's sort of a rectangle. So yep, tick, we've done that. Adhere it behind the window cutout. Okay, so essentially we've got to adhere. Who knows what this is going to turn out like? We've got to adhere this piece here. Okay, I don't want to put the glue too close to those edges down here in case I want to tuck something in underneath it, because that's actually always a wee bit of fun. All right, so we're going to adhere this to our vellum. Now, vellum has two sides, so just remember that. So make sure you're putting it on the right side, and it's the side that is brighter. Okay. Hold your tongue right while you put it down so that you get it even all the way around. Okay, so I've adhered my vellum behind the window cutout. Used foam strips to pop the panel onto my card base. Do we really want to have it that? I don't want to have pop. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, and yep, I will glue that straight on there. Now with vellum, you can see glue through vellum. So just when you're putting your vellum on here, make sure that it's where your basic white piece is on top of it. Okay, so you don't want to put glue too close to the edge. It hasn't told me to cut anything out, you know, like it's quite interesting the way it's written it. So we'll see how we go. Okay, so it now tells me to adhere this to here. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've done that. It said to use foam strips. We're going to use them on the top. Add floral designer series paper inside the card to show through the window. Well, all right. Adhere vellum behind window cutout. We've done that. But then it says to add floral designer series paper inside the card to show through the window. There's no window. We've already got the paper. So let's ditch that. Stamp and die cut 23 flowers. Okay. I don't know where they've used 23 flowers on this card because I've counted 4. So that's rather interesting. All right. I'm not stamping. I'm not doing 23 flowers. Die cut leaves from Old Olive and Pool Party. Arrange flowers and foliage around the window. Stamp your sentiment. Adhere your banner strip across the window. Embellish with a ribbon and a bead trinket. You can add some Wink Castella if you like. Add a layered wishing word die if desired. Okay. Well, those are dodgy instructions. Okay, so we'll just work with it though. So we've got the word wishing. Wishing is actually a word that you can use for you can have it stamped, or you can use it in here. You can use the two pieces, the two dies to make a pop-up, which is what I think today we'll do. Okay, and then I've also got this one here that we're going to use. So we'll pull these out. Okay. And then we've got all these little flowers that go with the stamps. All right. Just going to put that like that, just so it doesn't stick to it. So these flowers here, you can also cut them out. Okay. You can cut this one here or cut this little one out, but then you've got some bigger ones that you can cut flowers out as well. There's also tree branch and everything like that. So let's have a bit of a play. The little, did you see those pieces here on the paper? See how we've got all these little flicky bits and little flicky bits? There's actually a stamp that's the same so that you can recreate that, which means that we could put that on the inside of our card. I love this one. Look at that. Anyway, so let's have a bit of a play here and cut some things out and do some stamping, okay? Because I think I've decided that I've ditched my instructions for ChatGPT, but it's given us a good base to start with, okay? So let's do in this designer series paper. I really like this piece, and I think I've actually got enough here for the it's really yellow on the other side, but look at that. Yes, I can fit the word wishing on there, and then I can put, I've got another piece of basic white, and I'm going to cut the word wishing out of the basic white and put it on the top of that. That'll bring our pecan pie color in a little bit. Okay, so that's going to get cut out on there. And then what I'll do is when I stamp onto this piece, okay, it'll be the opposite. Okay, so we've got those pieces are going on there. So we'll just get a bit of a plan as to what we're doing here. Okay, so now I want to stamp and cut some of these flowers out. Look, there's the, okay. and some of these leaves. So we've got this little guy here. That is a stem. And if you drop it onto your glass mat or onto your table, then it will actually be similar to, because there's actually dye for that. It'll be similar to how it's going to land. There's this these leaves here have a dye. And we need the words, all the best. One of the girls from work, because, you know, they're just falling like flies at the moment. One of the girls from work's retiring, so we need a pretty card for that. So there's wishing you all the best. Put that on the back of that. And let's do some, if I did this right, we could end up with 23 flowers. Some of these daisies. Okay. Now the other thing that you can cut out is you can cut out the flowers and the images that are on the designer series paper. They will turn out quite pretty. These ones especially, oh, there's the other part of that. These ones especially turn out really nice. So yeah, and you can cut all of these out. I didn't show you this paper. This paper's actually, I really like it. It's quite happy. Ooh, there's another piece in there. That's the same. I must have used quite a bit of it because there's not very much left in there. So what we need to do is, I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight to make up some flowers, okay? So with these flowers, I'm going to stamp off. Where have I got some scrap to do that? Here's a piece. In the what are they called? The scrapbooking kit, you get these, and they're just little pieces of white to hold your photo places. So I've been using them as my, where I stamp off, just so that, oh, that didn't turn out as good as I wanted. That's a bit better. And stamp. So I don't want it very dark, although it will work for me. So there's a dark one and another dark one. And let's have another light one here, because we don't want to just do, so this means it's got to go through the cut and emboss machine 5 times. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, so now we're just going to work out where this flower sits on that particular flower. So I'm just going to move it round and round until I can see where it's supposed to sit, because this is 2-step stamping, and you just got to work out, and it's not there. Maybe you just got to work out where. See, that does look like that bit. Got to work out where it all sits properly. Okay, so if that sits there like that, that's that one there. Got to hold your tongue right as well. So we're going to turn this over because I'm not happy with either of those. And let's start, because I want to stamp off, I'm going to start with this thing. Right, there's my flower, solid flower. Not solid, that's my, you know what I mean. Right, let's so stamp it off. And that is heaps easier. Do it, everyone, do it that way. Okay, so then stamp over the top of it. And then once you've worked out where it is, you have to try and remember. Because that's dodgy as all hell as well. Okay, excuse the top of my head. I think that top one's the best one I've done so far. Other option, if you're not happy with how it's turning out, you can do this. Is you can come in and you can make some blobs for your flowers. Oh, wrong one. This one. Stamp that over the top. And then we just cut them out. So it'll give us quite a subtle flower. Okay? So we'll have a play with those. We'll cut them out and we'll see how we go. All right. And then we've got some leaves. Now, I did bring over some old olives, so that's fine. We can use the old olive to cut leaves, but we can also cut some leaves using some old olive paper. And what looks really nice is some tone-on-tone stamping. So we'll do that as well. Oh, hello, everybody. So good of you all to join me, which is lovely. So we've got Dimity and Cheryl and Lowell and Chris and Lisa and Kate. So I'll just stamp a couple of leaves. Now, again, you can do this so that you could actually, what's the word I want to use? You could just use your blending brush and add a couple of little bits of different tones on there. I didn't bring over any of my pecan pie, but we can cut out our branch out of this, and then we don't even need to stamp it. Let's do that. Hey, what do you reckon? So wishing can be cut out of there, and same with our branch. Don't worry about that, Tony. I don't need it. He came to the rescue. He's a good egg. All right. And we need our other sheet of dies, because we're going to use this branch. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? It's not all going to, oh, it might fit on there. Okay. It's so cute. We need this one. We need this one. Come on, actually. And I'll show you what we can do with these. See these two here? There's this one here. And this one here. And these ones here, off you come. These ones here, what they do, they're quite fun, okay? And I'll just because I can, I'll have these two, because we need some other colour flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some cutting out. So we've got our base. Let's get some cutting out happening. All right, so then we can see what we've got to play with here. These all fit in the mini, okay? So if you don't have a big cut and emboss machine, you can fit these all through the mini, which so you don't have to worry about it. This frame here that we cut, the oval, I don't think it does. You can only fit 3 inches through the mini. Okay, so we're going to cut out a stick, and we're going to cut out the background of wishing out of the timbery colour, or what's that called? Pecan pie colour. And we might send through at the same time some leaves. Okay, so we've got some here that are getting cut out with that piece, and we've got some that are getting cut out a bit different so that we can layer them on top of each other. These ones are quite fun. Okay, just so that you know. All right, so everybody is sort of fitting on there. Yep, not bad, not bad. Okay. Send that through. Okay. All right, let's see what we've got here. We've got some stick. We've got wishing, which has disappeared. Where'd it go? Did I drop it? Oh, no, there it is there. That's cut out very nice. Oh, it's got a little bit of a chop off at the bottom, so I'll tweak that. I'll put a flower over the top of it. No one will know. Hi, Sharon. How you going? And we'll cut that out. We'll need that again. And we'll get those two off there as well. Okay. So I'll have that one. I'm just pushing these off. Okay, so for the latecomers, there's a suite special. And what we're doing is we're playing with the Floral Delight Suite because it's a suite that's on the retiring list. And the reason why this suite is on the retiring list is because the ribbon is going. Now, the rest of the suite items are staying, but the really pretty ribbon is going. So we're making the most of this. There it is there. Okay. And because we can, we're going to cut this one out at the same time. And we might as well, no, we won't cut that out yet. Okay. So there's the 3 on that one. Let's move you back in here. So yeah, so at the moment the special is on. That means that you can get 50% off a second suite item when you buy 2. If you buy 4, you're going to get 50% off 2 of them. Now the way it works, the easiest way to explain it is if you buy the whole suite and you buy a whole second suite, you get 50% off the cheaper of the 2 suites. If you buy the designer series paper from one suite and some ribbon from that's part of another suite, whichever one is cheaper, which I can tell you will be the ribbon, you're going to get that at half price. Okay, so that's the way that it's working. All right, so you can get creative. If you spend $120, you'll get $12 in rewards, but that's the best way to get the most bang for your buck out of shipping. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're shopping, that you want your cart to come in approximately around the $120 mark, so you get the most bang for your buck out of your shipping. So if you buy 2 suites, it's definitely going to happen. If you buy 4 different packets of designer series paper, it'll happen, but you won't necessarily get, you'll get 2 of them. Actually, it won't necessarily happen because 2 of them will be at the full price and the other 2 will be at the cheaper price. This one's not playing nice. I don't remember which way I put it. There she is. Is it? Yeah, there it is. It's all a matter of getting that in the right spot. Now, see these little guys? I might put some of these in here so because we can get some little white flowers at the same time. Might as well do a fair bit of cutting out. Since we're shoving it in, we might as well go through numerous times. We're not doing the 23 that ChatGPT said that I needed because we don't need 23 flowers. Although Tony seems to think differently, but you know, that's tough. Okay. Take that flower off there. That leaf off. Oh, keep that in the set so I know which position it was in. There she is. Gotcha. Okay, and I have another little white flower. I think I'm going to need 3 of those because we want some, we don't want even numbers. And we'll have some more leaves just because we can. And let's do this time. Let's do this one here at the same time. Okay. Now, these little white flowers, if you wanted them in a, actually, they'd really look nice cut in that vellum, wouldn't they? Ooh. Don't mind the noise. It cracks, it groans, it carries on. Oh, look, I'm going to get crack in my plate there. Right. It's up to you. Sometimes, because it's a photopolymer stamp set, you can cut out your sentiment strip first and then stamp it later. If it's dodgy, we'll just cut it out again. It's easy peasy. All right. And we'll have those leaves. Okay, and let's have another flower. Take them away. And we need to cut out. Oh, It's disappeared on me. Is it that one there? Nope. Oh my gosh. I turned it round and now I've got to find it again. Oh, there it is. Stop looking, everyone. Okay. Now, I also brought over some Daffodil Delight because that's the main colour. So the main colour with aside of the pool party, because the pool party is featured quite heavily in the vellum. Oops, where's that little flower gone? There she is. The pool party is featured quite heavily in the vellum, but it's not going to be, it's there, but it's not, there's no flowers made out of it. But there's nothing stopping you from making flowers out of the pool party. Finding my space again. Oh, Lordy. I'm just rolling it around the flower to see where it's going to land and look like it's supposed to be there. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Yeah, so there's not very, like, the main color on this designer series, this suite, is yellow. So your Daffodil Delight. All right. Okay, I'm just going to move this out of the way because I want to sort of see what I've got and see what I'm playing with here. I've cut out 5 of the flowers. We may need more, but I'm just going to see what we've got to play with. Okay, so I've got the word wishing here. And this is where, if you've got, where is it? If you've got the embossing kit, this is in the, this set of tweezers is in the embossing kit. I've left, where is my take your pick tool? It's on the other table, but I've got the old one, an old piercing tool here somewhere. Oh, maybe I don't. You usually have a take your pick tool on this table as well. But it's developed some legs, and that's okay. I've got scissors, so scissors will do. I just got to push out, there's the little dot in the middle of the eye here. Take your pick tool is so much better for this. And the G, so I'll just push them out. So this is a really good way to hold this, but it's also a good way to actually place it on my dodgily cut wishing. Okay, because it's got to land on there. So I like to hold it up to put my glue on. If you've got some of the adhesive sheets, this is where it is perfect time to use them. I'm putting some glue on here. I've got a little, you'll see, I can't tell if you can see that. There's like a little tiny knob there, and it's almost like I've turned it into a ballpoint pen. I'm just rubbing that tip of that glue along the wishing. And the end of these are like they're ceramic, so they don't get hot, which is what is good with when you're doing some embossing. But they're also really easy to clean the glue off. Okay, so let's pop. I was at work today and I was telling a lady that I make videos on a Thursday afternoon, and she went, oh, okay. And I thought, oh my gosh, what sort of videos do you think I'm making? Which could be very interesting, because I definitely don't make that sort of video that she implied. I did clarify that I make craft videos, but yeah, I thought, oh, I probably should sort of say that in a better way. Now, you'll see that there's 2 dots there for the eye. I'm hoping that they are still there, which they are. Now, they are super duper tiny. If you wanted to, there is nothing stopping you from using a tiny little rhinestone where these dots were. Now this is where my take your pick tool would definitely come in handy, but I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue on the end of my thing, and I'm just going to put a dot of it on there. So that means that, and I'm going to let it dry a little bit. That makes it so that it's easy for me to pick these guys up and place them on. All right. That one's upside down. Now it's up the right way. And my finger's a little bit sticky, so they just stuck to it, and I can just shove them on like so. Okay, so that's my wishing word. It looks really pretty. It is a little bit fiddly, and I did cut the bottom off it like a dodgy person, but that's okay because we're going to make it work. All right. ChatGPT's got nothing on us, has it? Like, look at that. Okay, so here is my sentiment strip. We don't need that stamp, so I'll put that back over there. You All the Best is going to fit quite nicely on there. Now you'll notice it's a little bit too long. You can send it through and make it shorter if you want, or you can do what I'm going to do and ignore it and put this in the middle. Or you could just send it out one side. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it off to one side, and I'm doing this in pecan pie. If you stamp like me, turn everything on the side so that you can get it straight. I just find that it works so much better. Off you get. Right, so there's that. Okay. All right, so let's see what we've got. We've got Wishing You All the Best. We've got a bit of tree or branch that we're probably not going to use. That looks simple. Cut that out in gold. That'll look so nice. Bit of tree. Okay. Flowers up the side. We've got some flowers. We're not necessarily going to need all of these flowers. Okay. And we're not necessarily going to need all of this tree. Why am I making it all the way up there and stretching for it? I was going to show these leaves. And then we've got these leaves to add a little bit of branch and greenery in there. And we've got some white flowers. Now, I didn't cut out yet this little piece. Okay, this little piece here is it's like a little flower inside. So we need to cut some of that out because then we can use these flowers as well. All right. So it's like I think it's going to turn out quite pretty. Now, the other thing that we could have done to tizzy it up is we could have actually embossed that piece of basic white, or we could have stamped on it. But we were just trying to follow what ChatGPT told us to do, weren't we? Okay, so we'll stick another flower up here. And stick some leaves up here. So we've also got these leaves. Now these leaves are that's actually going to turn out quite nice. These leaves are quite funky. Okay, I'll just get this one out. Oh, there's another flower. Yep. So these leaves here, where's the other one of it? There's a big one somewhere. There it is there. These leaves here, if you glue them together, all right, you actually get a leaf that it's got layers, which is quite nice. So it only goes on one way, okay? And it just gives you a different effect. So instead of two-step stamping, we've got two-step layering of our leaves. See? How cool does that look? And this leaf as well. Put a little bit of glue on it. I haven't decided if I'm going to use these. I just wanted to show you them because they're so cool. Okay, and that one there is, hey Sharon, did you get your scrapbook page made? I made a title for it, but I didn't finish my page. Today's the day that the Scrapbooking Global blog hop goes live. I used to participate all the time, but I've just been flat out like a lizard drinking and haven't had a chance. How cool are they? Just add an extra layer. Oh. Don't think we'll use them because I actually like what we've got, but I am going to cut off some of that tree because we don't need that whole tree. Okay, so let's go back and look at our photo, hey? All right, that's the picture that we got started with. Ugh. Does nothing for me. I don't know about you guys, but that does nothing for me. That's what ChatGPT said we should make. I've got more flowers than what it has. I don't have as many leaves, but that's all right. And I'm not going to have a bee trinket, so because I can't find them. But that's all right. We'll work around that. But I'm thinking I need to make something with I need to do something with these flowers here. Okay, so I'm just going to move that to the side because I'm actually quite liking that. All right, just move that to the side. I want to cut out, I've got some, I might need to do some more leaves at the same time because I think it needs a bit more greenery. What do you reckon? So we'll stamp some more leaves in Old Olive because we stamped those in Old Olive so that we had a little bit of background. Okay, so we'll do some more leaves. And I think I've got 4 of those little white flowers, so we need 4 sets of leaves. Okay, we'll do 4 more leaves. And I need some from this is Daffodil Delight. Now, the other thing you can use, see how these bits of paper here have got colour on them and it's a little bit textured. You know what? We're going to use that. Okay, we won't use that Daffodil Delight. Nobody said you had to use that side of the designer series paper. Nobody said we can't use that scrap, so we're going to use that scrap. Okay, and we're going to make some flower insides. Okay, so we're going to cut leaves because we need heaps more leaves, and we need some flower insides. Okay, so we'll send them through. It's actually going to turn out to be quite a pretty card, I reckon. I think my auntie will be quite happy to have this set back in her hot little hands to make some things with it. All right. So, I didn't put one through with the leaf. I didn't use that die. That's okay. All right, come on up, you come. That's cute. Look at that. That's like a little amoeba. All right, or something like that. Now, where did I put? There it is. Let's actually get the leaves cut that we actually wanted to send through with this at the same time so that we didn't have to do as many runs through the cut and emboss machine. You could put eyes on that or put a head on it and it could be a person as well. What do you reckon? Yeah, just for a bit of fun. Okay, and here's another one. We're going to get a whole population happening here. So don't mind me, I'm a bit delirious. And that one. All right, so we need another piece where there's a bit more yellow. All right. Here we go again. Oh, I think it just moved on that green. It felt like it. All right. Oh, it didn't. Excellent. That turned out okay. Oh, this one might be a bit dodgy though. Where's my little dude from here? Oh gosh, that one stuck fast because my mat is so well loved. My plates. And another one. Okay, so what are the so hey guys, if you're watching this and where'd it go? Oh, there it is. You're watching this on replay, or if you're watching it live. If you're watching it live, let me know what sweets have you found that you've ended up with 2 full suites of because of the fact that we've got the special on, because I've actually bought stuff that I wouldn't have normally bought because I just love it. Actually, we could have done the insides of those, but anyway, there's another one. And I'm only doing that last one because I've got another leaf here to cut out that was stamped dodgy, but I'll show you how I hide that. Right. Now, I always tell my ladies, you guys know what the card was supposed to look like. If you're copying someone else's card, which fully 100% support, make life as easy for you as possible. Ask ChatGPT to make it. You won't necessarily like what you're going to get from it, but you know. You end up with some dodgy pieces. Now, for example, there's a dodgy piece. That is so dodgy, it's not funny. Okay. Nobody says that you have to use it. Nobody says that you don't have to use it. And nobody knows, the person receiving the card doesn't know what it was meant to look like. All right? So just keep that in mind. They're just so happy that you've given them a card. Okay. So we've got some really pretty card here happening here. I'm just going to go around these a bit with that. Because I cut them in a bit of a dodgy fashion, I'm just going to give them a bit of loving around the edges so that there's no white. I don't want white because there's a lot of white on this card already. So, and I am now regretting that I didn't emboss this. If I was doing it again and I had done it beforehand rather than reading straight off my ChatGPT instructions, that would have looked really nice embossed. Okay, so let's work with what we've got here. All right, so we've got our tree, which we might stick up the side here because it said the instructions did say arrange flowers and foliage around the window. So this is what we've described as our window. So we're going to arrange our flowers and foliage around our window. So there's lots of different ways you can do that. You can do it coming across. You will need to trim it if you decide to come across. But because I haven't embossed this and I would wishing that I had, I'm actually going to go up and down now. I hadn't put the ribbon on because it told me to glue it on straight. It essentially wants me to tie a little bow and stick it on later. Right, so that piece there is going to get stuck on. Now, we do have the advantage. Remember I said we could stick things underneath because we hadn't put glue there. So that's what I mean. So you can stick bits underneath so that not are they hidden, but it means that they've gone through the window or if you stick it at the bottom, it looks like it has come out from under the window. In you go. This doesn't want to. Okay. But yeah, so you've got. Do I need that height? What do you reckon? I really need that height. So we will glue this one straight down. And sometimes it's just a matter of doing it and then going, oh, I wish I'd done that different. But my person didn't know. And I might tell the boss to get some yellow flowers to go with this for when the time comes. Because this friend is actually retiring. There's a lot of people on my work retiring. Okay, so and we'll just stick that. I'm going to come in a little bit. So that gives me room to put my flowers. Wishing's going to land about there. Anyway, so all the best can land here. And it's going to get put up on dimensionals, without a doubt. Now, it's skinny. It needs the little tiny dimensionals. Oops, come back over here. And I'm putting it on now because I want to put some flowers over that end that is shorter, that doesn't have any stamping on it. Okay, so I'll put, there's a couple of, I was watching it. Who else gets ideas from Instagram, YouTube, all that sort of stuff? I know a lot of us do. I was watching a reel the other day and a lady had put, she'd done her mud map of her card, and then we don't have, unless you shop at Costco, we don't have press and seal here. She used a piece of press and seal, she stuck it over the top of it, turned it upside down, put glue all over the bits that she could see, and then stuck it back over the top. And I just went, ah, you know, wow, next level, wow. All right, how's that? Okay. Don't know where I'm putting my ribbon yet. Should have probably stuck that on first. Some flowers. Oh, let's stick these little guys together and see how they look. Okay, not my leaf. I need this bit here. Looks like there's a little man standing in front of the flower. But yeah, so I get ideas from YouTube, Instagram, all those sorts of places as well. And I just thought that was like next level. Wow. Okay. It would look good with it. It's the brown one as well. Look at that. But I don't know if it's going to work because I've done it upside. Oh, get back in here. Okay. That one would work as well. They both look really cute. Oh, where's my head gone? My second head's, I keep looking up to talk to you and you can't see me. So let me just go. Oh, there I am. See? All right. So yeah, so there's that little one as well. So we've got those as well. But let's just arrange these guys. All right. Because we need 5 of them on there, on that. It's a very heavy branch of flowers, this one. I might put that one up there. Okay. And then some leaves. So that looks pretty good. And the wishing is going to sit over the top of it. So these little flowers, they disappear. Let's make them blue. So now I've got them cut out in white. That's not really, makes it really hard, doesn't it? So here's another blending brush. And here is some Pool Party ink. So if you want to make your flowers blue, there's nothing stopping you from doing this. Okay, let's hold you and do it. See? And now it's blue. Okay? And then that yellow is going to sit in there and look absolutely perfect. Make sure I do it on the right side. I'm going to end up with a blue fingernail, but that's all right. I think my Pool Party needs re-inking. I've been running the dehumidifier because it's been so damp and it sucks all the moisture out of my ink pads. But that's all right. Got to do what you got to do. There you go, 3 different flowers. All right, so we just put those little bits of yellow in the insides of them, just because I think it needs them. And there's not really a right, they sort of sit better in one direction than the other. You just got to hold your tongue right when you're picking them up. They're slippery little suckers, as they say. All right. So I'm going to stick that one. Oh, where'd that go? There. Yeah, I've left that white one over there. I don't think I'm going to use that one. And this one here. So just for something, it's just nice to have a little bit of something in there. Now, because I don't have the little bees, I've brought over some of my gems and I put them on the table somewhere because, you know, I'm really good at doing that. And you can go there. Okay. Just for a little bit of variety. But while we've got this open, let's pull this out. Actually, that's what we can do. I saw a stamp that we might like. Where is it? I'll just put the bit of tree back in there. Ah. Okay, because we didn't put any, we didn't use our noggin and emboss that, I'm going to stamp some little bits of decoration randomly around here. Just because we can. What do you reckon? And because my pool party ink needs to be re-inked, it's coming out quite light and quite pretty. Just to take a little bit of that starkness off that white. Okay? Because as much as I like white per se, we don't need it to be, oh, I was going to put them on the inside too. We don't need it to be white and in your face. Okay? So I was going to put some of them in here too. Okay. Where'd it go? There it is. Or you can put a bit of designer series paper down the side. Whatever floats your boat. Okay, just a little bit of a pattern. Okay, we will need to get the ink back out again in a second because we're going to pull out, we're going to put up our, we'll do our envelope as well. All right, so just pop that back in there. Put that to the side. Okay, so let's get some of these flowers on here. So this one here is my best flower. So I'm going to put a dimensional under it. And that's the beauty about doing numerous flowers. So there is some, there's no way I was doing 23. I still can't get over the fact it told me to do 23 flowers. So, madness, absolute madness. So, yeah. And then we need to stick a leaf. And I'm going to come back and stick the leaves on, okay? But we're going to stick a leaf under there just because we can. Right. Then we need another flower is going to go up here. And next best flower. So the flowers are all going on with dimensionals. And our leaves are not. Okay. So I'm essentially sticking one flower on each spike of this tree, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't like odd, don't like even numbers, so we're going to go with an odd number, and we're going to put this one on as well. But I'm going to have it sort of sitting as part of a clustery bit just there. Okay. So I'm going to stick my leaves on, and then I'm going to come back in with these little tiny flowers. So just put a little bit of glue on the back of your leaves and shove those into where you think you might like them. Now remember that dodgy leaf that we had? Where is it? There. Okay, so with the dodgy leaf, you can either trim it up with your scissors, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is essentially hide most of it, because nobody's going to know. What's that? Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. Of course they're going to know. But essentially that's where that one's going. And then we'll put a leaf under here. And we'll have another leaf that's got to come out the side here. Now, when you're sticking it out the side, you've got to be careful that you don't go over your edge of your, oops, over the edge of your card. because you don't want you don't want it to take up more envelope space than it's allowed. Okay. So it's not allowed to go over by too much. It can go over by a little bit. It doesn't want to play nice. I've got the dimensionals under there. So I'm just going to chop off, I'm chopping off a leaf. We might use that leaf somewhere else. Put a little bit more glue under there because that one was getting in my way. There you go. Okay. This little guy that I've just chopped off, we can stick him down a bit lower. But he's got a flat edge, so you make sure you just stick him right in there. Okay. This one here. Go under there. Now I've got another one here if I want it, but we haven't decided. Oh, it's had a caterpillar on that one. And then we've got these little guys here. So I'm just going to tuck these in as well. So it's a really cool plant. It's got 2 different types of flowers on it. What do you reckon? Okay. Just for a little bit of and this one. Again, odd numbers. Oh, I haven't stuck those leaves down. Got to stick those leaves down first. That one's stuck in, that one's not. That one there's not. You can come out. Okay, and then this flower now can go under there as well. Okay, looking pretty smick if I do say so myself. Okay, so now we need our sentiment for our wishing word. I should have done it the other way around so that the wishing was going under there, but we needed to cover, see how I've cut the end off it? I need that to be stuck underneath there. So that's going to go like so. But we need some ribbon on here. All right. I just want some ribbon on here. So let me tie. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slowly, gently prise that up a bit. Okay. Slip that under there. I'm going to tie a bow on here because I've got that big gap over there. So essentially, oh, didn't give it enough room. I want to be able to have a bow over here. Have some more ribbon. When you're tying ribbon onto a piece of paper, you have no choice but to be gentle with it. Because if you pull too tight, it will rip. And I don't want to rip it. I just want it to tie nicely. Now, the other thing that you could do is you could tie a bow around a pen and you could just put it on with a glue dot. That choice is yours. But let me just cut this one off. Okay. So this bow is going to need a bit of work because I'm not overly excited about it, but I can make it so that I can be. Because I want it to sit in a certain spot. This guy here is going to have to sit on flat And it's because of the way I've cut it, because I need that piece of that G to flop underneath there. There's the dimensional there, so it's going to have to go under that bit there. Okay, so we'll just put some glue on him because we need it to play nicely with the glue. And I must admit, having that extra, it makes it so that you can manhandle it a bit easier. So that bit there has got to go under that bit there, which means that is going to pop off there a little bit, but that's okay. Let's make it so that it's straight. Alrighty. And then what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to get a glue dot out and I'm going to put the glue dot underneath it. Now I don't have to take your pick tool here, so I'm going to have to use my snips and then the pointy end of my snips. And here is a glue dot. Come on, off you come. Here's a glue dot on the point of my snips. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shove it underneath that bow. And then I'm going to twist the bow to stick on that glue dot on an angle. Okay? So you're sort of forcing it into a little bit of submission. You're telling it where you want it to go. And then there's my bow. And I'll just trim off those tails a little bit because it doesn't need to be so sharp. Come here, you. You can come down here. Oopsie. Well, that wasn't very good. Okay, and you can go about so long. Okay, looking good. Now, if I could find my bees, I'd put a little bee trinket on it. But because I can't find my bees, I brought over with me, because I wasn't sure what I was going to use, but I brought over these dots. So I think the little tan ones would actually work quite nicely if we pop some of these on here. Not try and flicking them around. So there's one. Two. And there's three. And just because I can, there is four. Oopsie. The take your pick tool is definitely way better for that job. And there's five. So it looks nothing like what we started with ChatGPT at all. So I'm going to add some leaves in here just to bring that green into the front, from the front into the middle. And I'll bring in my envelope. So it's nice if our envelope and our inside match a little bit. Okay, so a little bit of greenery. Let's push that to the side. And a little bit of greenery down here as well. And then it's up to you whether you put a flower on or not. A flower would look really nice on it. So if I made the leaf correct. Okay. And there we have our inside. Let me just put some glue on the back of here. Now, you don't need to put a layer on the inside of a basic white card, but it gives the card some support. It gives it that extra, I don't know what the word would be, plushness, or Yeah, it's plush. That makes it a lot more, I don't know, gives it some more oomph. I don't know what word to say, but you know what I mean. All right, and there's the inside. Might have to make some more cards with this while I've got my hot little hands on it. Take a look at that. What do you reckon? Hey, everybody liking that? All right, so this is the Floral Delight Suite. If you like this card, you can get all the goodies for it now. The ribbon is the thing that is retiring. So even though it says that this is a last chance item in the suite, it is only because the ribbon's going. So just be aware of that. It's nice to see you all. I will catch you same space next week, 4 p.m. See you then. Toodaloo.